comfortably asleep every night with this thing beside my bed, knowing that it will do what it's supposed to do. And guess what? I also have another one that I can claim that same thing to. I have started putting this one beside my bed. So you guys have been waiting. Here we go. This is the Panzer Arms SCR 12. So let's get ready and get into this. First and foremost, I want to apologize for this video being so late. During the shooting of this video of us firing this weapon, little did I know that I had contracted COVID. So did my son, and we ended up spreading it out throughout the house. So it was pretty bad. And with that, I developed some heart issues and ended up in the hospital. So once again, I apologize for the late review on this thing. I'm finally getting to it now. And so here we go. Let's talk about it. All right. So here we are. My first Panzer Arms gun right here. This is the SCR 12. Once again, it's been cleared for any videos that I do sit down and talk about. You know, they're cleared. Nothing in them. Already cleared. I do have some magazines and one drum out for it, just to show you what we actually tried to run in here. Actually, we didn't run any of the 5-round mags. We just tried. These are the 2 5-round mags that came with it. Just know that they'll work. Usually do everything, you know, that comes with the gun, usually solid. So what I did do is that I have aftermarket 10-round mags. I do not have the 19 or the 20-inch. I think this is kind of absurd. I'm good enough with these for running the drum. So what I can tell you is that the first time I shot this gun, which you'll see in this quick video of my first time running it, this gun only hung up twice. And when I say hung up twice, it hung up twice only because of the fact that I did not have the gas valve set for low brass and high brass ammo. I just didn't know what I was doing. So the first couple of shots, of course, they hung up. But once I switched over to, once I pushed this button in, then it started going. So this is that first video right here. So Panzer Arms SCR 12. So far, very smooth. Fire in the hole. All right, misfire. Let's try it again.
Misfire again.
Misfire again. All right. All right, so it's not pulling it back. So what I'm gonna do is change the pressure. Push that valve in.
There you go.
Cleared. Bam. So, first magazine, I had it set on the wrong setting. It would not change them out. As soon as I pressed the valve, boom, ran through them. No problems. Those were the 1330s. All right, sweet. All right, so you see after that first video how this thing performed after I switched the gas regulator system over. So once I switched that gas regulator system over, I had no problems with it whatsoever. That's the switch right there. All right, so now there was a reason why that gun performed so well out the box. Usually for any guns that you don't get that don't have big names like the Benellis, the Mossberg 590s. You don't have to do the things that I've done to this. And what that's saying is that when I get any guns that I get from overseas, any Turkish guns that I get, I simulate the firing. They say it takes 100 rounds, 200, some of them even 500 rounds to break in some of those AR-10 style guns, shotguns, or even your, so to say, even the war supposedly had a break-in period also too. I don't have any problems out at the war, so let me make that clear. First and foremost, that thing has performed flawlessly since I bought it. So, but here's to say, this is what we're talking about, and I'm telling you that this thing ran really well. I am speechless on how this thing performed when we were out there. It felt really good. It felt comfortable. It felt reliable. And once again, when I was running the 1,300, $10, $11 shells, it was giving me no issues whatsoever. So I know, don't get me wrong, I never drop something, a 1,200 or 1,100 shell in here. No, I'm not going to do all that. But I will run the 13s, the 1325s, the 1330s, 1350s, and I will even run 1,400 slugs, or anything like that I feel like that I need. But what I can tell you is that for the complete firing of this video, we used just the 10-round mags just to see what they would do. And what's crazy is that I've had problems with these 10-round mags out of my AR shotguns. Out of my Panzer, didn't have any problems at all. So with it being said, I'm a big fan of this gun. Don't get me wrong, there are a couple of things that I don't like. I wish this lower could have been a piece of metal, but instead it's a polymer. It's not cheap. It's not cheap polymer, don't get me wrong. It feels good, but I just kind of wish that this part would have been metallic. Also, too, what I do not like, I don't like this, I guess it's a false compensator on it. It does have the chokes in there, and there's a threaded choke that's located in there. I can tell you that with this being reliable as it is, usually I kind of put stuff on guns that I really like. I'll take it to another level. So at some point, I'm going to put some kind of obnoxious compensator or some kind of obnoxious door breach on here, because I do like the black and green color of the matching of this gun. It's fine. Comfortability, I can say that it felt really good in my hand. I do have rough hands, so I can appreciate the rubber grips on the shotguns. Usually they come. I haven't had any really issues with any of my shotguns as far as the comfortability, because they usually all come with a rubber grip. And my hand, for some reason, just likes that, likes that feel, and it's comfortable. And it doesn't move, it doesn't jar in my hand. I can hold it tight. So that's one thing I do like. The cheek riser is perfect for me, risen all the way up. So if I have this all the way up, my line of sight goes straight through with no problem. With this being reliable, of course, I did put a red/green dot on it. I went with a Fairfield. Nothing really serious. The battery life in this thing is awesome, and it's reliable. It's worked on other shotguns that I've had, and also running a Gabriel 1800 watt, 1800 lumen flashlight on it. I'm not going to run a pressure plate. This thing does come with a pressure plate. I usually would have a strip of Velcro right there with the pressure plate on there. I did not want to go that route. I want to keep this looking clean as possible with no wires or anything hanging out. Good thing about my flashlight, though, is that it does actually come with a button that's located under here. So with my grip, I can actually hit that light with no problem, as long as my fingers are. So it works for me, and I'm good with doing that. And it's once again, this is a very, very good flashlight for the price point with rechargeable batteries in it. All right, Another thing I liked about this gun, it also has dual magazine release on it. None of my shotguns have that. Not one, not really. My Utah's does have a shorter side on the other side, a dual, safety switch. That's about the only thing dual that I have on any other gun that I have. But this thing here has an actual dual magazine release. One for this side and one for this side right here. So, once again, it's another plus for Panzer arms. What I can explain to you about this shotgun is that of any shotgun of this statute, it's kind of like just like the AR shotguns, where it's a spring that's connected to the barrel. You have a gas piston. Some of them look a little different. This is one right here, and actually the gas piston in the Panzer arm kind of looks like this. Not the same amount of space. It won't work for it, so I didn't try it. I don't interchange parts of different gun manufacturers or anything like that. I use what is recommended, what they actually have in there. So this is a gas piston that comes in all these guns, and what it has ports in the barrel that forces this back. So it's pretty much a direct action gas piston gun. It comes, it's the spring and everything there. Some of these guns kick really hard. Some of them don't kick hard. I have an Emperor Arms Cobra that will kick your butt. But what I've learned, that Emperor Arms Cobra gas piston looks like this, and it tends to fire a lot better with a lot of different ammo settings. But this is where these things are different at. And the reason why a lot of these AR-12 shotguns don't fire is because of the gas piston. A lot of these guns come with interchangeable gas pistons on them, and what that means is that these gas pistons will only shoot a certain kind of ammo. Some gas pistons are for high brass, some gas pistons low brass. You have to interchange this stuff out. So what that means is that you have to take the barrel loose. Well, not really take the barrel loose. You have to unconnect a lot of things, unhook a lot of things just to change out a gas piston. And so that's what makes these guns less reliable in comparison to this one having a gas piston and it's having a gas regulated system. So what that means is that I have a little bit more, I have an extra port on my barrel that I don't have with my AR shotguns. And so what that means is that this gas regulated system right here shuts down one of those ports or opens that third port up. So it's able to perform in a different variety of ammo. And so that's one big plus of this. Don't get me wrong. If you throw a high brass gas piston on this AGCO, it's gonna fire a ton of high brass. You're not gonna have any problems, slugs, all that stuff. It'll run it, boom, boom, boom. But if I had a low gas piston on here, it won't do as good. Or if I had a low piston on here and I'm shooting, or if I had a high gas piston on here and I'm shooting low brass, it won't cycle. So that's the issue with a lot of these AR-10 guns. This is why that I would not make this a bedside gun. I want the option of being able to have 1, 2, 3 different kinds of shotgun shells if I want to run it and not have a problem running 3 different shotgun shells in here. If I want 10 slugs in here, I can run 10 slugs. If I want 10 double-aught buck, I can run 10 double-aught buck. Or if I want something cheap in this one, I can run cheap and it runs all day. 6-shot, 1325 velocity, low brass. No problems with any of this kind of ammo. And that's the thing that was surprising about this gun, is the fact that it just performed really well with these mags. However, with my Mag Pro drums, it did not do anything. Yes, it got the first shot off. First shot was fine, but for some reason it kept kicking the drums out. Every time we would shoot, it would kick the drum out. So the Mag Pro drums do not work for this shotgun right here. I do have a 20. I did not try the 20. I just tried the 15 because the 15 was kind of more reliable. in my AR shotguns when I took them in there and I had ran slugs or whatever the case may be. But we did load these with slugs and try to run it through here. And like I said, it just, for some reason, it would not hold this drum in here. It would just kick it out. It was kind of funny. It was it's like spitting it out, you know. So I'm fine with this not working. Now, I did do some research, and the one that's used for this is the BRM, the drum. Two Gun Tactical do carry that drum also. It's one of the places that I frequent to. Those guys are awesome. Guys and girls are awesome. So that's why I'm always there. So I'll probably be obtaining one from them and running another video of it. But however, we have just constant videos of this. I know we put about 200 rounds through this thing without no mess ups outside of just the first 2 shots. And when I tell people we ran it. Oh. We ran it. Okay.
Pretty tough, boy.
And we ran it again. Just no issues whatsoever. Ran that with no problems. And we ran it some more. And for the price point, I was not upset. Now, with them being the first one to do the SCR shotgun, you're gonna see a lot of people trying to jump on the bandwagon. And when I say jump on the bandwagon, they're going to want to, I guess, make a better product. If they've tested this and seen that it works, I'm pretty sure they'll try to make something a little bit better. Right now, this thing performs so well, I don't care what they come out with, I put it up against it. Don't get me wrong, I've done a little port jobs and things with this gun. Like I said, I took a thousandth off the front of the bolt just because I felt like the trigger wasn't coming out. I also polished all the internal parts. And once again, I'll let you see. Once again, this is empty. So I'll let you see. Even on the ports on the barrel where the gas comes out of, I deburred that also. So there was a deburring process, sharp edges. The upper piece, the upper metallic piece that is actually underneath this polymer piece that's inside of here, I deburred it, I polished it. But before I started all that, of course, I racked it 500 times, and I learned this from another YouTuber. He said, get the gun and just simulate it firing. I'm pretty sure that night I got this gun came in, my wife, all she heard was. So imagine me doing that 500-600 times in one night. That's all you hear. That's what I did. But once I did that, I took the components out, looked at the wear pattern, and I polished and even sanded, you know, with fine sander, with a simple Dremel kit. Took all that stuff off of there. The only issue, the big issue that I had is that I was looking at the sharp points of the actual feeder, of the bullets going in there, which is actually the barrel. So the end piece of the barrel that connected in here, the piece is really sharp, so I took some of those edges off. And I also, the barrel didn't line up. It sat up about 3,000 more against the metallic upper in here. So I took that down to where it was just nothing but a clear passageway through this whole bolt system. I did that. I took it out there and it was pretty much broken in. So all I did pretty much was just break the gun in without actually breaking it in, taking it to a range. So I wouldn't fault that or give this gun any bad grades because of that, because I think that had I put 200 rounds through this thing, it would be working flawlessly anyway. I am a believer in this company right now with this gun. This is my first Panzer arm product, and I can't say two bad words about it. Outside of that, and that being polymer, everything else is just a go for me. It is very comfortable. I mean, when I say very comfortable, it feels like once I added my light and my sight on it, probably right about 9.5 pounds, maybe 10 pounds. But outside of that, this gun is really good. I did do just a little bit of trigger work on here also too. You know, all AR shotguns or any shotgun's trigger is going to be a little bit clunky. So instead, what I did is that I did take a little bit off the trigger to make it connect with the bolt. So I went down in the bottom of the trigger area here, and there's a little stop there that sits out about maybe 2 or 3 thousandths. I took a thousandth off of that, so I made sure the contact point was just hitting what it was supposed to hit every single time. And once again, this is stuff that will just wear down with wear and tear, or wear down once you're breaking it in. All I did was just speed it up because I didn't want to go out there and just waste ammo and not, you know, perform the way it was supposed to perform. So with me just doing the already break-in period for it, and giving it a boost, this thing performed. And so when I tell people that the trigger is not that bad now, don't get me wrong, on the return, it's going to be a little clunky, but it's much crisper on the firing. You know, so that I'm satisfied with. And said, this gun here has been a surprise to me, to my friends, to my son. This thing functions, and it functions really good, and I'm proud of it. I'm happy that I bought it. Happy I'm one of the few people to buy it. Hopefully this will get a lot of people to go out there and try Panzer arms out, because I've heard, you know, and I've seen great things about that BP-12. You know, I've been thinking about getting that BP-12. With me getting something that functions like this, who's to say that I won't get it, you know? And so, once again, you know, I know people have their preference, and me, I'm an enthusiast that I just love guns. You know, it has nothing to do with anything. I'm a Second Amendment guy, through and through, and I love all people that do this for hobbies. You know, I really do. This is what I do on my spare time. If I'm off work, I am fooling with guns, trying to go to somebody's range, and just, you know, that's what gives me life right now. I ain't getting any younger, so I'm gonna do things that I enjoy. And with me being an ex-infantry soldier, a grunt, and one of the few things I like doing was going to the range, where a lot of my soldiers buddies they hated it, but this is what I do. So I said it was a great investment. I said I do have things that I'm not 100% satisfied with, you know. But this one here, this was a great buy. And so with that being said, this thing here can be my next bedside shot. SCR 12 thus far, this thing has been very sweet. Not a bad kick. Kicks less than my Tavor, actually. I'm enjoying it, so here we go.
Oh.